It's another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. This week we're gonna, do a little bit of a recap of what's going on in the golf world with the QB Shootout, the DP World Tour, the U.S. Women's Open. We're gonna be going into our Monday hypothetical, preview the PNC Championship with Tiger and Charlie. So it's Charlie Woods week officially, and we're gonna cap it off with a par 3 of the best golf beers on the course. So let's get into it. Okay, episode 59. Trevor and Jeek both said the Danny Trevathan episode. For all you Yankee fans, I said the David Phelps episode. But tomato, potato, tomato. The QB Shootout. Kuchar in English. It was one of those. I mean, they won, and we said it on the podcast last week. It's like, yeah, this is someone like this is going to win. It's not going to be like Answer and Wolf.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Answer and Wolf came in like dead last, maybe.
Yeah, I had Louis and Bubba, and they came in second. So
I mean, the team that I picked came in like second to last. So
they also lost by 9 strokes. So
yeah, I mean, it's just like you kind of close your eyes and pick out of a hat, and like you might get the winner in this QB.
This like I wasn't here last week, but this seemed like one of those like tournaments where you can like anyone. Literally anyone could win. If you have one of them has one good week, like you're like set. That's it.
Yeah, it's not a particularly like serious tournament either, so like people aren't getting locked in.
No, of course not. But if like they're on fire, like they're gonna win. Like they're gonna want to win money.
I mean, Kevin Gnaw on the first day, I will say, was lights out with the putter. I didn't really watch much, but he was walking in putt after putt after putt on, and this is like the perfect format for him because he's a good putter, and he was like just going second in the scramble and getting the line and just draining them from like 30 feet.
True.
Like
speaking of scrambles,
they're only 12 teams.
True. Speaking of scrambles, on our Instagram, I'm not gonna call out any of you because. Oh, I'm gonna call out some of you. I don't know how many of you voted against us or how many of you even follow us on Instagram, as well as listen to the podcast, but 73% of people before our round started said that me and Jeek were not going to shoot +3 or better on 9 holes. You know what we did on 18 holes? 1 over.
We probably shouldn't have even been 1 over.
And we
choked it away
around
the end. Yeah.
So here's what happened. We are 2 under par through 15 holes. I pull one into a bad spot, like behind a rock wall. Jeek pipes one right down the middle, but there's a tree in the middle of the fairway, and it's literally just resting against the tree.
Yeah, it was quite disappointing.
16?
It was like
it's the small course.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever played the small course.
You probably never played our small.
I played the small course before.
Small course is a fun little challenge, but yeah. So
it's very interesting for sure.
There's a giant tree in the middle, and I hit it really well, and I'm like, that probably went into the tree. And sure enough, it's right in the tree. Like, there's no shot. Like what are you supposed to do?
We went even par on the big side 9, and then 1 over on the little course.
We have the hole where my ball gets stuck behind the tree, and then the hole after that is like a how far would you say? 80, 85, 90 yard.
Yeah, downhill
par 3. Literally so hard to hit. Like I would rather, we got another bogey in that because neither of us hit the green because I don't think I've ever hit the green on that.
Then finish up with a par on 8 and a bogey on the 18th hole.
Right. So my ball ended up like just past like this little creek that's like in the middle there. So we had like up and down for par pretty much. And we both just like it must have been high wet grass or something because we both just like hit those like 2 foot like chip shots. I don't know if you know, like when you get under the ball and like the ball just goes nowhere. And then we both have chips to like chip in for par. And I swear Pat lipped out on the left and I lipped out on the right. Like we both almost made it.
This proves to me though that me and Jeek doing that is like, okay, that's one thing. If you're part of the 3-man scramble, Trevor, of the Pin High Podcast scramble, if we play the full 18 holes over on the big side, we're going under par, and we're going like way under par.
Most likely. Well, I mean, we were hitting putts too.
Six under par.
Like the second person putting.
My friends and I play when we were at school. We play scramble, and they're all like different kids I play with. Cause like we have 8 people playing, so I'm player with like one of my really good friends and a couple other kids. My good friends. None of them are good at all. Like much worse than you guys. And we shot last time we played. We were even par over 18 holes. No, over 4 people. Me and 3 others. And we were playing against another group of 4, and we were even par.
No, but I
also made 3 natural birdies, but
3 of us guaranteed. And if we maybe added other Trevor, we would be so under par on the whole 18.
Dude, like
I mean, I didn't even have my best game. Like I wasn't chipping.
We can't
the
even
ball
do that until the summer. But let's call it this 18, like the whatever side, like the big side and the little side. We would shoot probably 6 under par.
I mean, just having like one. Not that we weren't really missing putts, like in general, but just having one more person to putt, like just makes it so much easier. Even if like we didn't have any like tee shots and stuff.
Well, I like us having like when I play with my friends, like it's like they all go first. So if someone hits a good shot, then I will like go for it or go for it all. Like
I mean,
driver,
Pat caught fire.
Yeah, like I will hit driver. I will go for the green. I will do all this and like it like works. So like if we're safe, otherwise we're like all right, we're chilling. Like we don't have to worry about it then. So
like
especially like if it was like a silver mine too, it's like okay, like on 4 I'm not gonna hit a 2-iron. I'm gonna hit like a 3-wood and try to go for the green, or 5 I'm gonna hit driver and go for the green. Like it's different. Yeah. It's different. All those holes besides like 1, I'll go for the green.
Right. I mean, Pat caught fire from like within like 6 feet. Let's call it. Like you made like 6 in a row, like 5-footers.
Within like 10 feet. I was just like
draining. Yeah. So like I hadn't putted it in like 6 or 7 holes, and then all of a sudden we have like a 15-footer, and I just like drained that on my like first putt in like 7 holes. So it was one of those days.
It was a nice combo. And then, little side note to the whole experience is the next day we were playing, and we got our first pin high recognition on the golf course.
I heard.
So I leave my 60-degree wedge on the second hole. I'm like, damn, like I'm gonna have to go get that at some point. But there's a kid behind us, so maybe he picked it up. We're crossing fairways, and we pass him. I'm like, hey, did you pick up a 60? He's like, yeah. And he goes, Pat and Jeek, right? I'm like, yeah. What's it to you? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what's it to you? And he's like, oh, I follow you guys' podcast. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I did. No clue how to respond to that. I was like,
yeah, you caught off guard.
I was honestly kind of shocked that anybody like in our realm like listens to the podcast where they walk past us and be like, that's Pat and Jeek.
Right.
If anyone would, it'd be Silvermine Golf Club.
No, I was so confused. I was like, I asked Jeek after because I was like somewhere else getting my ball and Jeek was somewhere else on the green. I'm like, do you know that kid? Like,
and I was like, no, not really. Like,
follow the podcast.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's like, I think he just follows the podcast. I was like, well, I'll be damned. We're goddamn famous.
First of many.
First of many. So, yeah, and you knew it was from the podcast because like I feel like I don't really go by Pat outside the podcast, and Jeek is just simply Jeek. Like I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
You already know Jeek is Jeek unless you went to our high school or you follow the podcast. And
I mean, so like Pat's like I go by many names: P, Pat, Patrick, whatever.
Thomas.
Yeah. Pat is definitely the podcast name. Thomas. First name's Thomas, of course. That's always a shocker. That's always weird during attendance.
A nice icebreaker for classes and stuff.
You think you'd think that I would use that as my icebreaker, like first day of college when you're in your dorm, like meeting group. Me and my roommate went back to back, and I said I could juggle, and he said he could play the banjo. So from then on, that set the tone for the rest of the year for us. So we've gotten way off topic here.
Yeah.
We went to band talk. What do we got? We can move on to the DP World Tour. We kind of skipped over this last week. Honestly, I didn't know this many big names were playing in this tournament.
Yeah, kind of snuck up on us. I'm just gonna like it's like the race to Dubai and like all that stuff. But like the European Tour is like so behind the PGA Tour at this point that like I had no idea we were at that stage of the season. Because like think about like the FedEx Cup.
Right. Matthew Fitzpatrick was the one who won. Lee Westwood didn't win the tournament. He just won this race to Dubai.
So like think about the FedEx Cup. Like the race to Dubai is pretty much that in Europe, and like they're like so behind because of like COVID and all that stuff. So yeah, I guess Matthew Fitzpatrick won this week. Lee Westwood, Victor Hovland. Yeah, it was kind of sick.
Dude, that is the trophy. We're gonna do a par 3 of trophies.
We should definitely should do that. Par 3 of trophies next week.
That just popped into my mind. That's got to be on it. Perfect. He literally had like a spear or like a cane, or I don't even know how to describe it.
Not to get off topic again, but the sword from the Korean baseball league or whatever it was, or
that was sick. That was sick.
But yeah, so Matt Fitzpatrick edged out Westwood, Hovland, Patrick Reed was in there. There was a lot of big names like near the top and playing in this tournament.
Can I just say,
Patrick Reed's over there. That's kind of wild.
He was like 4th in the race to Dubai.
Wow. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna go to the. That's probably
right. It is like a spear. That's so cool.
When did the PGA Tour post Oscar Hovland won? How long ago was that? Last week? Yes. Okay. Here we go. Dude,
Puerto Rico curse.
Tell me what that is.
Oh, that was a terrible trophy.
Chameleon.
Like a
Isn't it chameleon?
Like, yeah, that was not a good trophy.
But it straight up looks sus. Because you can't see the other side of it's like weird in this. Like you can't tell it's chameleon.
All I can tell from like what you're showing us is like a white blob. That's all I can tell. But like I can tell it's like
though that it's a chameleon.
It's a chameleon because like it's like that club is out.
It's a weird trophy. I'm not a huge fan.
Do you like the jackets?
The jackets?
Jackets
like
are
when they like not just like the Masters, but
Hilton had
Charles Schwab. They have the plaid jacket. That's unreal.
Like, Hilton has like a plaid jacket or something like that too. It's a couple places like
plaid jacket. Unreal. I have a plaid jacket actually. I've never worn it once. It's like a plaid like blazer.
I like
wait for the right time.
This DP World Trophy is
I'm looking forward to the par 3 next week though. The trophy.
How do you even hang up this this DP? Like it doesn't stand by itself. Like you gotta get stand for it.
You put on like a little like.
It's quite big too.
You got like laid across. It's like it'll take up the most space because like you just laid across like the top of your like trophy case or whatever, and that's it.
You know what? I know what to do with the plaid blazer. We got to have our second. So we had a major called the Corona Classic back in March, I believe it was, or maybe April. Me, Jake, and other Trevor played in it. It was just the 3 of us over 4 rounds. I took the dub, so I'm the one-time major champion on this tour. But if the 3 of us and like the rest of our golf friends played to handicaps in a 1-round event, the plaid blazer could go to the winner.
And it switches every year.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
We could do that. We could do that soon. It's supposed to be a nor'easter on like Wednesday, but
yeah, it's unfortunate.
But we could figure it out.
Yeah. So back into the golf. Apparently Lee Westwood won the race to Dubai. Apparently had a really good year. 3-time winner. First time he's won since 2009. Only 6 players have won it 3 times. So I guess it's a pretty good achievement.
That's
Rory and Seve are on that. Also, that trophy is sick too.
Yeah.
That's another like really cool trophy. Yeah.
If you want to, just dating back to like how we've gotten so off the rails during this episode, if you want to know what it was like during COVID, if you are a new listener, this is what it's like. It's just us talking about golf. This is like an OG
just like all over the place.
To COVID.
It is an OG episode. Yeah, COVID. Yeah.
I will say we went through all that trouble and we made like a full golf course and we haven't done like anything with it. Like I don't know what to do with it.
Making the golf course was fun though. I was excited for this.
It was fun. Yeah, it was a good. It was a good segment. Gotten creative, but The only reason why why it's like this and it's not like the regular formatting of the episode is because like officially now there's no PGA Tour golf at the QBE Shootout's over until January 7th or 14th. Is it?
It's like early January.
Is
yeah.
that
It's
Century Tournament
still
Champions?
the Century Tournament Champions.
Oh, of course.
So we got a little bit.
Classic.
We have a little bit of time.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, we do have the PNC Championship this week, which we'll get into
After the Monday.
I'm excited
Yeah.
for this. I'm excited for this.
So the Monday hypothetical. Jeek, I'll let you introduce it because you came up with it.
Yeah. So the Monday hypothetical this week. Let me pull up the exact one just so we get it right. Pretty much, the question was if you had to choose like one part of your golf game to be tour quality, like which would it be and why? So say driving, iron play, chipping, putting. So like pretty much you get to choose one part of your game and that is like you're a pro, and then the rest of it is just like normal you. What would you choose?
I mean, to be quite honest, just for me personally, where do I play golf the most? Silvermine Golf Club. If my iron play is that of a PGA Tour player, I am shooting under 60 like almost every time.
You can literally, like, does that include distance too?
Yeah.
So
I'm just hitting 2 iron.
Player, you don't have to drive for the whole round.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have
under
to.
par.
Yeah.
You shoot under par.
Yeah, you would shoot. You would shoot
so far under par.
Because I mean, like putting, obviously, I still have to putt like I do, and I'm not a great putter. I'm not bad. I'm not.
Yeah, I went
putter,
with
but I'm
my
an amateur golf putter.
Yeah,
so I could
went
easily.
with putting. I mean, just because like, pretty much if you have like tour quality putting, like anything within like 5 feet is automatic, and like anything within 10 feet is like very, very, very makeable. So
Yeah.
I would like to be automatic within 5 feet because you don't know how many of those putts like are missed. Like
I'm going off my own game. If I'm at my peak, then if I'm playing like the best I play all
I feel
year.
like for you, Trevor, would be putting, right?
No, I was gonna say chipping.
Chipping.
I would say chipping because then if I am a tour quality chipper, I'd have tap-ins for putts every single time.
That is true.
Because then like I think my putting's like good. It's not like, amazing, but it's like good. And if I'm driving the ball decent and I hit like I think I would consider myself a decent iron player if I chip the ball.
Short game. I feel like caddying you in the two tournaments I've caddied you in, everything was there. It's just the putt, the 8-footers for birdie just weren't dropping.
I know that was so annoying, but the 8-footers for par were dropping, but the 8-footers for birdie were not dropping.
Exactly.
Happens.
Or
so,
in the playoff of your first one, the 20-footer for par was dropping.
Yeah,
after having like a 30-footer for birdie.
I hit a 30-footer for birdie 10 feet, and then I made the 20-footer for par. That was so bad.
That is some playoff.
You love to see that kind of
golf.
But yeah, it's if I'm chipping I consider I'm a good iron player, but if I'm on the green, like I'll usually two putt. But if I'm not on the green, if I can get if I'm a good chipper, like I can maybe chip 1 or 2 in and have everything else be like super tight, like I'll gladly take that.
I mean, I feel like chipping and putting go like hand in hand in this because like you could just say like, oh, if I have chipping, then like all my putts are a tap in. If I have putting, then like I'm never gonna 3-putt, pretty much.
Wait, actually,
Well, it doesn't mean your chipping's good if you putt it.
I might actually reconsider this, but is for like all these stats, are we thinking of like the best possible?
Like, I mean, you don't get
to drive as Bryson.
Yeah,
okay.
You don't get to be like it's like average.
If I could drive as Bryson, I would choose Bryson.
Go smack in the middle of like the PGA Tour like stats. That's what it is. I'm trying to put a name to the player, or to that, but it's tough.
Kevin Gnaw.
Yeah, sure.
No, he's a good putter.
But he's above average in putting and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you have the Kevin Gnaw putting. You have to have the walk-in putts too.
Yes, that'd be cool. Oh, I walked in a birdie putt so early the other day. I had like a I don't know, like 25-footer for birdie, and I saw it was online like 10 feet away, and I was walking it in.
Well, you would have just played it off as like like tapping it in from the other side if you didn't like walk it in, like one of those quick tap ins.
But it was cocky. All right, so we played a 9 holes skins match. I got 8 skins.
Dude, I got 0 skins. I tied every skin, but I like every time we tied, I tied the skin, but like when it came to winning the skins, I couldn't win a skin.
Or sorry, 16 holes.
You got shut out.
I got shut out.
Trevor, we had Jeek skinless.
I literally tied. I tied like we played 16 holes. I think I tied 8 skins, and I didn't win any. Like, it was crazy. That was probably the worst I played out of the 3 days that we played. Together,
I would have like a 7-footer to like get Jeek for Jeek to like nail a skin or to tie it, and I would just be like, all right, I got to get this one. Got to keep Jeek off the board. And
literally hits like a 15-foot putt. I'm like, well, today's not my day, fellas.
Wait, so you're saying before you said like the most average player in terms of driving distance, putting, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right? Sebastian Munoz is right dead in the middle of strokes gained off the tee in terms of the whole PGA Tour.
Who's right dead in the middle of strokes gained total?
Strokes gained total?
Yeah.
Because that involves everything.
That involves everything.
Because but that doesn't mean that. Yeah, I guess I don't know. But
Sebastian Munoz is a good player, though. Honestly, like,
he seems like a pretty in-between guy, if I'm being honest. I don't know though.
It goes up to 284 golfers, which is more than I expected.
Like 140 something. So it's Paul Casey is the average of everything.
It's Paul Casey. Paul Casey, that's a
So you have Paul Casey quality everything, like pretty much is the hypothetical.
Give me a short game. What's his? I don't even know what this is.
He's got good like iron play, I think, like really.
Tee to green, yeah. Tee to greens is really.
And honestly, Kevin Gnaw falls right in the middle there too at 140. I mean, no one's smack in the middle of every category. Like everybody's good at something and then bad at something else, and that's just kind of how you make strokes gained total.
Sleep on. Do you want to guess who's number 5 in strokes gained total?
Brendan Todd.
Akshay Bhatia.
Oh, because he had like one good tournament. It's early in the season.
And then
this is measured over 10 rounds.
And Justin Sue and then Will Zalatoris, our guy.
He's played 22. Will
it's such an L that we played him on the pod.
Yeah, he's played more rounds than anyone else on the PGA Tour, like since the season started, because he's literally just played the entire season
and
hasn't missed a cuts.
Total. That's 10 rounds measured. Oh, interesting.
All right. Do we want to get into the PNC Championship? I mean, it's
sure.
Charlie Woods week. I feel like we got to talk about it.
I'm really looking forward to watching this because
I want to watch Charlie Woods play golf so bad, and
I know.
We'll see how it works with my scheduling. I don't really have much to do over break, so I'll probably tune in. But
I mean, the format of this, because I had to Google this. I need to figure out like what this was. So pretty much like you got 20 major champions, like, and they all get to pick a family member and like compete in this like scramble. It's like a full-on scramble. And like pretty much to get into the field, you have to be a major champion or have won the players. But I'm pretty sure everybody in the field has won a major. Just like the notables, obviously Tiger and Charlie Woods. You got the debut for Charlie Woods. How old is he? Like 11 or something. So nice little debut here at 11. I mean, the favorites, you got Justin Thomas and his dad. Obviously, his dad's like a pro at a club somewhere.
Trust me, I dealt with a lot of PGA professionals this fall. It doesn't mean they're good.
Yeah, but I feel like Justin Thomas's dad's probably pretty good.
Sure.
I would probably say. And then you got John Daly, little John Daly. Matt Kuchar and his son Cameron Kuchar have the same odds as Tiger and Charlie Woods. Apparently, Matt Kuchar's son caddied him last week.
I was gonna say Cameron Kuchar's like old. He's older. I think he's like 13 or 14 or 15.
Yeah.
That just shows that just shows how good Charlie Woods
probably
is.
Pretty good.
His kid's older than him, and then Tiger Woods is still.
Tiger, yeah.
Or Charlie Woods is still like the same amount of like favorite or whatever as him.
Yeah, I mean they play this event at like the Ritz-Carlton Golf Club in Orlando, which
I played that course actually.
It's not. It can't be a very hard course, right? Like I'm assuming it's a pretty easy course.
It's not that hard, but I played it. Like I stayed at the place like multiple times and played that course multiple times. It's not a bad course at all, though. It's a nice course.
I mean, just looking at previous winners, I mean, there's a lot of older like players that play in this tournament. So like Bernhard Langer's won a couple times with different sons. Obviously Davis Love III and his son Drew Love, who is also a PGA Tour pro, have won a couple times. So like that's kind of like cheating though. Like,
wait, Bubba's playing this?
Yeah, Bubba's playing with his like his uncle. I don't even know.
I'll say his son's too young to play in this.
I feel like there's no way that Tiger and his son win this.
Yeah, I don't really think
it's just going to be entertaining to watch.
Like if you look at the previous winners,
it's going to be like Bernhard Langer or like someone with an older son, like John Daly.
Yeah, that's how
like
it is.
It's going to be someone with an older son.
I mean, we can get into our winners right now. Jake, you want to start?
Yeah, I went with John Daly and Little John Daly pretty much solely because I feel like Little John Daly's pretty good, like compared to all the other amateurs that are playing in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
For all, I don't know Little
fair.
John Daly's game
That's
that
fair.
well, but
JT and his dad have 7-2 odds, so plus 350. I think that evens out too. I feel like it's got to be them. It's literally JT, who's probably the best pro in this tournament.
yes,
probably
Most definitely. And his dad, who's an actual PGA professional, and his dad's a PGA professional, like in the South, so probably pretty good at golf. And I feel like he has a track record of being good at golf. So I don't know. It's not a bold pick, but I feel like
it could be
he's
somebody
not exactly
going to
be a bold winner. In
Like
this tournament.
you have no idea. Like, it could be like Jim Furyk could win this with somebody like easily.
Greg Norman. Give me Bernhard Langer. This guy wins everything. This guy wins everything.
I mean, he's won this twice.
Doesn't
with
matter.
Two different sons. He won last year.
It doesn't matter what son he has, he'll win. He just finds a way to win. So I'm gonna go with Bernhard Langer. And so
Fair enough.
I mean, I don't know if this is like on most books. I don't know if there's odds on this. Like
It's not on DraftKings.
There's like a random website that apparently had odds on it. It had like Charlie and Tiger Woods at like 6-1, which is like 6-1 for an 11-year-old playing with a bunch of like grown men.
11-year-old. Like, I don't care how good you are at 11 years old. You're playing in an event with PGA Tour professionals. Like you're not.
You can't be a freaking favorite.
You're not going to play well. You're not.
You can't be like one of the top favorites with an 11-year-old. Like even if you're Tiger Woods.
I mean, you pretty much got to throw, like except for the par threes, you pretty much got to throw away like his tee shot, like all the tee shots could be Tiger's, and then like even like some of the approaches probably too far, and like it all comes down to like his putting pretty much. So it's pretty much Tiger playing by himself.
And you don't think that kid's gonna be shaking over like some of these 5-footers on?
No,
a PGA
I don't think
Tour?
he will.
Yeah, I have a feeling he might not be. Yeah.
No, he's nah. He's got the ice in his veins.
That's also true. But he's also,
dude.
11.
From what I've heard, Charlie Woods is a savage.
I mean, I would not be surprised.
I listened to like JT talk about Charlie Woods, and it seems like the kid is like 10 years, 11 years old or whatever it is, and he's just like already like shoots the shit with the best of them.
Yeah, I feel like if he's, I'm sure this is gonna be like put out that like JT is gonna end up playing with Tiger somehow. And I feel like Charlie Woods is just like always around JT, so it's not like, oh, that's JT, like the second best golfer in the world right now. I'm playing with him. Oh my god, this is crazy. It's like, oh, what's up, JT? Like
exactly.
It's just kind of like one of those things.
Exactly why I don't think he'll be phased by playing in this tournament. Because also, yeah, it's on TV, like kinda, but Charlie Woods, like you're playing in a scramble with your dad. Like it's not really.
Is that what it is? A scramble?
Yeah, it's scramble the full way.
Oh.
So like,
it's not like he's probably played in a scramble with his dad before at like a.
They probably shot like 400
like something
9 holes.
Yeah. So it's not gonna be anything new. Like
I wouldn't be surprised if they play really well because like if Charlie Woods is that good and he's that clutch, great. But like I also would not be surprised if Charlie Woods like kind of cracks a little bit because he's 11 years old. Like any 11-year-old.
We're just depicting a
11-year-old
it's just golfer's game right now. That's how much this like dead spot of the hiatus is getting. We're just depicting Charlie Woods' golf game.
I mean,
he's got a
will
great
I watch it? Yes, I will.
Oh, I'm gonna, yeah. Will I watch it? Absolutely. Will they win? I'm gonna go. Absolutely not.
I mean, Charlie Woods could be like 5 years old. They could be playing this event. And like they can, if Charlie Woods could literally be like a 5-year-old playing in this event, like with a bunch of pros, and like people would be like tuned in because like, it's Tiger's son.
Oh, you kidding me? I'd watch Charlie Woods dominate a bunch of like other kids, like no question.
They should start broadcasting like on a Monday this summer when there's nothing going on, like the Charlie Woods like Florida Junior Tour event.
Facts. I mean, they don't even televise like the Monday qualifiers, so I think one step at a time here.
It should though. Golf Channel could do a lot more than they do.
I agree.
They could do a lot more coverage of stuff that like. I'm not saying
when there's nothing on, it's always like a documentary about like Arnold Palmer, like on repeat.
People wouldn't tune in for like appointment television to watch a Monday qualifier. Some people would.
Like if like this dog days of summer or
and you're not doing
dog days of winter.
And I know that there's a Monday qualifier on the Golf Channel. I'll probably watch because you're watching intense golfers who like have everything on the line, just like play some golf. Like
and you're watching like names that you know. Like you're watching names that you know.
The other should have done it was this past year when they had COVID. Like if there is no other sports on TV besides golf, and you have Monday qualifiers every Monday, people would watch that. People like there's no other sports on. Like what else are you gonna watch? Like people are gonna be staying at home doing nothing and watching TV, and they'd be like, oh, what's on the Golf Channel? Or scroll by the Golf Channel. It's a Monday qualifier. Like people would watch it more than like they normally would probably, but they'd watch it.
I mean, it is great. Like if you watch a Monday qualifier and then you like go into the tournament and somebody who qualified through the Monday qualifier all of a sudden has a good week, you're like, oh, watch that guy on Monday. Like, and all of a sudden, like you're getting notoriety for like some of the not as good golfers or not as like high up golfers.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like we definitely had the same exact conversation when we had Ryan French on the podcast.
Exactly. Oh, definitely did. 100%.
I'm surprised you remembered his name. I just know him as Monday Golf Q.
You know, it took me like a second to think of it, but it's kind of a generic name, so.
It is. I feel like there's a dude named like Ryan French in our high school. Maybe I'm Alex French. There was an Alex French in our high school.
French. Yeah.
Wow. I'm good at name dropping. I have no clue what he looks like, but I just know there was a kid named Alex French. I couldn't tell you what he looks like, but I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. I guess the U.S. U.S. Women's Open picks last week. They both didn't hit. What was the first name of the girl who won?
Oh my goodness. It
was
A Lim Kim.
A Lim Kim.
A Lim.
A Lim. That's her name. A Lim Kim. That's kind of a sick name.
Almost sounds like Elim, like elimination.
Like it's literally the
should be nicknamed
the letter A and then LIMKIM.
A Lim the Elimination Kim, winning majors.
She won by one stroke.
I mean, yeah,
the
course was playing like really tough. Apparently, like they
were playing in like where were they playing? Cypress Creek, and like
the winner, the Champions Golf Club or something like that. The winner was what, 2 under, 1 under.
The winner was 3 under.
3 under.
There was 4 players under par, so it was a U.S. Open condition.
It was a U.S. Open condition. I love that. You'll have to see that out of the women's in a major in December.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I like watching the women's golf because like just like the distances they hit the ball are like some of them are like kind of similar to my like flush driver. So like I'm like, oh, that's the distance that I would have hit it. I would have had like X amount in on this hole. So I don't know.
Except you would have shot a 106 at that course, probably.
Well, yeah, definitely. most definitely.
Yeah.
I've always wondered this, but how would like the courses they play are not like as long as like something how would play in like maybe a tournament. Like I asked my dad this the other day, like how would like top women's golfers fare at like Silver Spring, like our club? And he said they would tear it apart.
Yeah.
Yes, they absolutely would.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, but it's like the same like distance. Like it's like I get that.
I feel like when it gets down to
it's the same distance. Like
when it gets down to it, I think it's less about the distance and more about like the fact that they're just banging putts like everywhere.
Yeah,
and they're like proximity to the hole is probably just so close.
You're right.
Just throwing darts.
But to me, I made the argument. I'm like, yeah, it wouldn't be like five under par. If they played 4 rounds, it wouldn't be a 500 par tournament. But like, it'd be like a regular like, okay, the winner's gonna shoot. If it was a 4-round tournament, Silver Spring, I'm like, all right, the winner will shoot 20 under par, like a regular like tournament is probably. That was my argument, but I have no idea.
Maybe not though, because the I don't really know about the LPGA venues that well to be fair, but like in general, I feel like from what I've gathered from like the people that I talk to, like I don't know, like Will in the bag room and stuff, like at Silver Spring, that Silver Spring's not like, for me it's a little difficult, but like for good golfers, Silver Spring's not a very difficult course.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. But it's like,
so I feel like for professional women's golfers,
4 rounds, 20 under par. 5 under par.
I mean, it's still really hard to go 5 under anywhere, really. Yeah. I guess, but
I'd take them for that.
I'd set it at like 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like a little bit like
25 to 30
like
under
the average course,
which is still like tearing up a golf course.
Yeah, I know it is 100%.
So I'd set it at like 25 to 30 under par would be.
Do you know what's kind of crazy? Absolute. Like, so the woman who won was a South Korean. There's been, I guess that was the 4th major of the year. 3 out of the 4 majors were won by South Koreans. That's crazy.
It has been a trend on the LPGA.
I'm not gonna say anything.
That has been a trend. So
I mean, I'm just reading an article right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
10 of the past 16 years, someone from South Korea has
won
cool a major.
I mean,
I don't know how that happens.
A lot of the PGA guys are talking about the Women's U.S. Open this weekend, though.
I feel like American women like don't like golf's not like the number one sport. Like,
it's definitely not.
I feel like when you go to like South Korea, I think golf is the number one sport for women.
But for women, exactly. Okay, that's what I guess that makes sense. Because I was gonna say, why aren't like Korean golfers and like men like just dominating the PGA Tour? But I guess
because baseball is the number one sport, and
baseball
Korea
or
for
soccer.
Men. So
yeah, that's fair.
That's
an interesting way to look at it. Because I feel like that's a lot of sports, just like men or women in a lot of places.
I mean, it's kind of like the same, like, oh, why like the U.S. has like so many people, like why do we suck at soccer like for the last however many years? Because it's just not that everybody plays another sport. Like, getting a scholarship to play soccer is probably harder than football.
If soccer was one of our top sports, we would be so
we'd be so good.
I mean, whatever. We're kind of in the golden age right now for American soccer, low key.
No, we are.
There's a lot of really good young players in Europe, playing in Europe.
Oh my
he's
God.
sick.
See, I don't know.
He's so good.
I can't participate in this conversation.
He's 17 years old. He's probably the best player on our national team. Arguably the best player.
Not Pulisic?
No, Gio Reyna and Pulisic are going to be the leaders for years to come. And McKinney.
When's the next World Cup?
Next year. No, 2 years. 2 years.
Well, 2 years? I think it's next year.
No, Euros is next year because it was.
Oh, they pushed everything back a year. You're right.
No, but the World Cup is still 2022, so 2 years from now, or less than 2 years now, because it's.
Well, isn't it in January? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's. I thought it was like November or something like that, but yeah, like less than 2 years or around a year and a half, something like that.
Cool. So let's move into the new segment we got going. It's just NFL picks. Last week we went 1-2. Jeek hit his, so he's 2-0. Me and Trevor are 1-1. This week, I got the Eagles plus 6.5, but I'm gonna buy it to plus 7 because you're allowed to do that in this. You're allowed to buy a half a point because
I saw that
couple dollars.
I literally just saw that, and I saw a line that I liked. I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm doing that.
Yeah, against the Cardinals. The Cardinals aren't good. The Giants are just really bad. That's
Their
what happened.
Their offense is just bad. I had a conversation with one of my friends last night about the Giants and like what
the Giants' offense is so bad.
The Giants are trending. They're trending.
So elite.
Trev understands this. They're trending into like the Bears' direction. The Giants, like where they could play sick defense, but like their defense can't bail them out when their offense goes 3-and-out in every possession.
Loki, I hate that the Bears won this weekend because now I'm kind of back in, and they play the Vikings. I'm gonna get this weekend. I'm gonna be devastated when they lose again. And it's just gonna be it's just a cycle. It's terrible, but it's
to continue with my pick. Also, Jalen Hurts, very elite. Eagles, actually a decent team.
I kind of like that, but I also don't like how I like being on a team that has a new coach, like the Lions a couple weeks ago, or a new quarterback, just because it kind of like nobody's seen film or nobody knows what they're gonna do. But then the game after that, I feel like they come back down to earth. So I'm not that kind of scared.
But I'm also you're giving them 7 points here.
You're giving them 7 points
against the Cardinals, who are like
you're giving them 7 points.
Mediocre. Maybe a little above mediocre.
Yeah, I will say Cardinals defense played pretty elite last week.
They did.
Like
shout out Zach Allen.
Hassan Reddick had like 5.5 sacks, which was sick.
Franchise record.
Yes. My pick. This was kind of the one that like stood out on paper, like pretty obvious. I'm sure when you looked at it. I got the Bills -6 versus the Broncos. I think we found out this week that the Bills are pretty legit and the Broncos are pretty trash. So,
well, they won.
Broncos they did win, but I meant like we found out that the Bills were elite, and I just think the Broncos aren't that good. So,
okay, I just think Josh Allen's gonna throw it over the heads of players in Mile High, but
he's gonna throw it out of the stadium.
I'll go past my thing. Colts -7, but buy it to -6.5 versus the Texans.
Texans are so bad. I learned
Texans
that this weekend.
Are terrible. Dude. They're so bad.
I mean, the Texans they didn't have like Will Fuller got suspended.
I mean, you let the Bears.
Their top corner got suspended. David Johnson, their top running back,
no
got a concussion.
Defense. Zero defense.
The Bears scored 36 points.
Yeah,
36 points.
Sucks. They don't win games unless they score.
The Colts might score 50 if the Bears score 36.
The Colts are good. Like,
the Colts are good. -7.
They're not winning the Super Bowl.
Well, that's because Philip Rivers is their quarterback. Like if they had a real quarterback.
It's an Indy too.
I've been hearing Wentz to the Colts rumors.
Well, yeah, because Frank Reich is their head coach, and Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator.
I like
Wentz's like big year. So
and keep Wentz there and keep Brissett there. And then if things go wrong with Wentz, then put Brissett in. I like it. And they've a good team, too.
I didn't see that Jeek, I'm assuming Jeek put this in, who's in the CFP.
No, I did, actually. Trev did.
Oh, really? Okay, we can go into some college football playoff talk. I mean, it's a hiatus. There's not much to talk about.
Yeah, because Florida lost. But...
So Florida's out.
Yeah.
Low key. You got the ACC Championship this weekend, right?
Low key. So I'm gonna go on the assumption that Clemson beats the hell out of Notre Dame this weekend.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
I agree too.
I don't think the hell, but I think they're gonna beat them.
And now, okay, hear me out throughout this. USC just got rescheduled to play Oregon in the Pac-12 championship, rather than Washington. Oregon's better than Washington. That's another quality win. They go undefeated, and Florida loses in the SEC championship, so Bama's in. Clemson beats Notre Dame. Or maybe if Notre Dame beats Clemson, then Clemson has 2 losses and they're officially out.
Does Notre Dame keep a spot if they lose to Clemson?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
Because they're 10-0 right now. No other team in the country is 10-0 besides Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina's not getting it.
Well, no, I know. I'm just saying.
But USC
is Troy this weekend.
USC cannot jump from 15 to 4.
Dude,
I don't think so.
They can't. Oregon is not ranked anymore.
There was something on the ESPN graphic this weekend. Did you see that?
ESPN also had Wisconsin with a 52% chance in week 3 or something.
Are you gonna let USC at 5-0 or whatever they are get into the playoff? I don't know.
You can't.
Dude,
you can't.
I know you're a USC you like USC, but I just don't think you can do it.
They're slept on.
You can't jump them from 15.
Dude, I think if
especially
it's not gonna happen.
Say Clemson.
There's a scenario where it could happen.
Say Clemson beats Notre Dame, right? And it's a close-ish game, not less than a, say, 2-3 score game. Alabama's in, Clemson's in, for sure.
Alabama's in.
I think Notre Dame keeps their spot if they keep it close and they lose to Clemson. And
they have to keep it close.
And then I guess Ohio State.
Ohio
State's tough because they're only 5-0, but they are.
They'll get
State.
In.
I feel like the committee likes those big names, so.
Especially because they're probably gonna blow out Northwestern.
So if Northwestern wins, are they in?
They're at 14 at 5-1, Probably
if
not.
Northwestern wins, it's just like
I don't know.
I feel
Things
like
could get crazy
Florida-
now that Florida
Florida or
lost.
Texas
Things could get
A&M.
crazy.
I heard a rumor last week that like when Ohio State wasn't planning on playing the Big Ten championship game, that they might have played A&M, and the top 6 teams would all play each other or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that
Well,
would be crazy,
but like, what happens if Florida? Not that's gonna happen. What happens if Florida beats Alabama in the SEC championship?
I think Florida's
Then all of a
obviously
sudden
out.
Florida
do you keep
goes
Bama
in too. You can't keep them out.
Bama would stay in.
Yeah, but do you
Bama's
put
in the college
Florida
football
in with
playoff.
2 losses?
No,
Florida-
if
you
Florida
can't lose to
loses, if Florida
LSU and get in the
loses to
playoff.
if Florida loses to Bama, they're done. They have to beat Bama to stay in.
Well, no, yeah, but like, but
Florida's
Florida
out no
lost.
matter what.
Florida lost to LSU.
Florida's
So
out.
if they beat
Florida's out.
Alabama, they're
No,
in.
they're out.
They're out.
I
They're too
think.
far. They're gonna be like fifth. They're gonna be like 13th or 14th. They lost to an unranked team.
You can't put
They're
Florida
out.
in. They would have to blow the doors off of Alabama. And
That's
why
why
are
we
we even
need to-
talking about this? Because Bama's literally the best team in the nation
They're
by
not
like
gonna, they're not gonna lose.
they would be favored by 16 plus.
I don't know what
against
the
Alabama.
I don't
over-under
think
in
they're
games?
beating Alabama, but I'm just saying if they
What's the
do,
over under that game?
they
They're
might.
gonna be favored by like 25,
What's the over under that game?
on like by like 21. I'm gonna go 21 and a half is the line.
I mean, I still think
The line's
a
probably
win
out.
against Alabama cancels out a
17.
loss against LSU.
17. I guess
The
16
over-under-
and a half.
I was gonna say the over under 74. I would take the over. There's gonna be
Yeah,
no defense.
Kyle Trask versus-
Bama. Trask is good. I like Trask, and Bama's just not gonna be stopped. Florida can't stop Alabama. If they can't
that's
stop
the first
LSU,
Kyle Trask
they
game
would-
I've seen. That's the first game I saw him against LSU. I wasn't impressed, to be honest.
apparently he's played a
He was
lot
like
better the
Heisman
whole year.
candidate.
Yeah,
played
but
a lot
I
better.
wasn't a fan.
But like, if LSU is gonna score 37 on Florida, Bama's gonna score like 60 or 50.
I've had some
They're-
heated college football playoff debates in the past few
Well,
days.
I just think the whole college
So
football
we-
playoff thing is like dumb, and like, cause like if you don't play in like say the Big Ten or the SEC, like or the ACC, you can't get in. Like it's impossible.
if
If you're
in the
not in
Pac-12.
the three,
Oh yeah,
like if you're in the Pac-12, it's hard to
Oregon
get in.
didn't make it.
But you have to be flawless to make it out of the Pac-12. Pretty much.
You pretty much have to be flawless. I mean, because you don't.
But
yeah,
you
you
could
don't
lose
play
one
good
game in the
teams.
SEC.
No,
You could lose one
ACC,
game in the
you have to be
ACC.
flawless.
ACC, you have to be
ACC
flawless. pretty much.
I mean,
You have
Clemson lost.
Clemson.
Clemson lost.
But it's Clemson.
You have to be
But it's Clemson.
flawless because
But it's
you don't play
Clemson.
good teams.
But it's Clemson. If this was UNC and they had lost, UNC would have. It's Clemson. Like Clemson
It's
and
'cause
Clemson
Clemson
lost.
is a
And
powerhouse.
Clemson lost to Notre Dame. Like
Without their starting quarterback.
They're not losing. They're not losing to Washington State. They're not losing to Washington.
Dude, I can't
Like, they're, like,
wait for the committee to
that's Clemson.
put in like a 2-loss Clemson and just be like when they lose to Notre Dame again, if that happens.
They're not going to lose to Notre
I
Dame
know they're
again.
not. But like
But,
I
no,
could totally see a scenario where Clemson loses and they still make it in.
No. If they, I can see it too. But if they do, I think you got to put A&M in. If all the other teams win, I think you have to put A&M in,
Who's
which
their quarterback?
I think Mond, who's not bad.
Kellen Mond or something. Yeah.
They just run the ball now, and they're
I think
boring.
it's going to end up somehow. Some scenario is going to end up where A&M's the four seed, and they're still going to get their doors blown off by Bama.
Oh, they are. They're 100% going to get their doors blown
It's really
off.
just who gets
They
to
don't
lose
stand a
against
chance.
Bama.
It's the
Who gets some school pride.
the four best
Dude,
teams.
I wonder if the college football committee talks about it like like this is the conversation. Like they're sitting in a room and they're just doing this.
No, they're bringing up some stats.
And if Clemson beats Notre Dame and Notre Dame's number 4, is Notre Dame going to get their doors blown off by Alabama? Probably. I would not
Yes,
be.
absolutely.
That happens
100%.
every
Dude, if
time
Notre
Notre
Dame
Dame
played
makes it into the
Alabama,
playoffs.
No matter-
they
no-
lose
no
by
matter who-
30.
No matter who, if Clemson beats Notre Dame and Ohio State wins and Bama wins, the fourth team's going to get blown the fuck out. Blown out.
Alabama, Notre Dame, final score 1 versus 4, 45-14.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
But we should probably move on because this is a golf
This is
podcast.
a golf
that got
podcast,
too heated.
and we literally just got a full conversation about college football.
All right.
Which we have not mentioned college football once on this podcast, except for like Trev saying like, "Oh,
feel
South
like
Carolina
anybody who
lost
listens-
and Syracuse lost."
Yeah. Hey, we fired Mustang.
Anybody who listens to this podcast likes football probably.
Probably.
I would assume. Yeah.
So it's just there's not a lot of golf going on right now. You if you like hearing us talk about anything, like you probably don't mind us here talking about football. But let's move on to something else we can talk about, and that's beer. Par 3 of golf beers.
If you like,
I'm going
this
first.
podcast, you probably like beer. You probably like football.
Going first. Goat of golf beers is Bud Light. no question.
Isn't that just like the goat of like beers? I feel like that's the
it's
can't
not
miss
of
the
golf
can't miss.
beers.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I don't blame you. I kind of like it's like if I'm drinking beer on the golf course.
There's a close second, and one of you is gonna say it soon.
You want me to go for second next week?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll go with the Corona.
Yeah, it's the very close. It's 1A and 1B. It's actually, I won't even say it's 1A and 1B. It's not even like 1 and 2.
Like, but I'm like I'll drink it like when I'm up here, Connecticut. But if I can just imagine myself like being like on like a beach or something like that, a beach course, drinking a Corona. As
I
I'm
agree.
playing. Like that just sounds like life. Drinking a Corona as you're playing like on a beach, like at sunset or something like that. That just sounds amazing.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not gonna say a specific brand here, but I feel like just like those random like IPAs, like could be like any brand.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a big golf drink. Like I couldn't even tell you what the brand is.
No, you cannot claim all the IPAs.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't claim all the IPAs. You can't do that.
You just can't.
I just like the off-brand name. I don't know. No, not like a big brand IPA. Like an off-brand. Off-brand.
Juicy Bomb IPA or Juicy IPA. They sell it at Silver Spring.
Yeah, sell it at the halfway house.
So good.
Those are good.
8.2% too.
All right. Is it me again?
No.
Shit. This is tough because, like, to be honest, don't drink a lot of beer in the golf course, as much as like, just because Silver Mine's just like not really the vibe, and that's like where I play the most.
Anywhere can be the vibe.
Well, yeah, but like I feel like we just forget when we go to Silver Mine.
That's true.
You just roll out of bed and go to the golf course, and you're like, well, I didn't bring any beer, so. But
maybe we'll change.
What'd you say?
I said maybe we'll change that.
We should change.
I mean,
actually,
you know what? Golf events they sell Michelob Ultra, and like those aren't good.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say
Michelob.
I was gonna say I'll say if you're playing golf in Florida, the Carco is gonna have Michelobs. That's what she's gonna have.
I feel like, and
Michelobs. I'm not gonna pick Michelob because it said it. That was gonna be my next pick after this one, but I'm gonna say Rolling Rock because it said Silver Spring. I like it a lot.
That's good.
Rolling Rock.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Lagunitas, Lil Something.
I like that.
Lil Something.
Lagunitas is good.
7.5. Great golf beer. And I was honestly gonna go with that Juicy IPA but I gave it to Jeek. So I feel like it's a tough one.
Once you get past like the top like 4 or 5, like
yeah, no, it honestly is tough to decipher because I could just go with an IPA, but an IPA is not necessarily the vibe on the golf course if you're trying to play good golf.
No, it's not.
Because you're just gonna like you're not gonna care about your golf round after.
I feel like there's like a European like some kind of like European like brew that's just like.
I'm just trying to think if I could come up with a better one.
Like Scotland.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Pacifico. Pacifico's a solid beer.
Okay. I don't know what that is even, honestly. Pacifico?
It's like half German, half Mexican.
Sounds like a good combination.
Made in Germany, then somehow brought over to Mexico, then discovered by California surfers.
It's a very odd combination.
That's so outside the box there, you know?
Exactly.
I'll go. So my last one, I will go with. I was thinking. I'll go with Miller High Life. Last one.
I thought you were about to say Miller Lite, and I was about to have a conniption. But Miller High Life.
Should I tease a potential sponsorship for the last?
Yes, you absolutely can.
So, Market Garden Brewery makes a beer called the Pin High, and I feel like that would be a fantastic beer on the golf course.
Oh, I have to try it.
Pin High by Market Garden Brewery. Fantastic beer. Hopefully, they're sending us a case over. Shout out to Alex Welsh for finding that while he was in Ohio. Like literally. our friend, he was in Ohio, visiting family, and he goes to this brewery in Ohio. I think it's literally he went to Market Garden Brewery, and and found the Pin High beer. And then
honestly, that was something we probably should have searched for, because I feel like that is definitely a great name for like a beer. I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like there was always gonna be one.
Yeah, there probably was. It's a good brand name.
Also, not that it's a beer, but Shootout Lynx drinks.
True.
Shout out really hard with the Golficity brand. So shout out.
Say not a beer as well, but another great drink to have on the golf course. Spiked around Palmer's on the can.
Also, just any seltzer.
Yeah. I'm not a big seltzer guy, so I won't say seltzer.
Well, but sometimes when you're trying to cut on the carbs, you gotta go with seltzer.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, Silvermine, when they had that cart girl, that's what they have. Like, they just have Bud Light seltzers.
Silvermine had cart girl?
Yeah, we had cart girl this summer.
What?
It was interesting.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. It was honestly not a very good selection. It was all really expensive. It was like not. It was like.
I mean, what do you expect?
Beer. Fair.
They're trying to get your money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And people who belong to country clubs have money.
Or we're already giving them money. But yeah. Anyway, I feel like we can wrap up the episode on that note. We'll have a part 3 next week of golf trophies. I'll have to do some research for that one.
That'd be a great one.
Other than that, we're on the golf tournament hiatus. So stick with us while we keep discussing random things. Maybe maybe we're just the new CFP committee.
Playoff committee, yeah.
I mean, it's really only like 2 or 3 weeks.
We'll talk about it again next week.
We're easily going to talk about it after championship week next week.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm assuming. I mean, if you guys don't like the football talk during the hiatus, you can let us know and we'll cut it. But if not, we'll keep rolling with it, and we might keep rolling with it.
The fact that we just went an hour, and we were like, oh, this is gonna be like a 30-minute podcast.
Well, we do our best when we're just talking literally out of
random stuff.
Yeah. So we will see you next week for I don't know, some college football talk.